With 1 second remaining, the Tigers have one play left in them. Again, two receivers left, one to the right. Daniels in the shotgun. Williams, the lone back. Daniels looking to throw. Fires a bullet. Caught! Jeray Jenkins back of the end zone. Touchdown, Fighting Tigers. Second touchdown of the night for the senior, Jeray Jenkins. And the Tigers are a point away from tying this up at the end of regulation. 12 plays, 99 yards, and the Tigers hit pay dirt. Daniels to Jenkins for their second connection of the night. Brian Kelly immediately signaling special teams going for one. Damian Ramos with Bramlett holding the all-important point after in a 24-23 ball game. Here's the snap, placement down, kick on the way, and it is blocked, and it hits the crossbar, no good, and Florida State going to survive this one 24-23.
This is amazing, man, how this game ended. LSU clawed its way back into the contest. Clawed their asses back into the contest only to surrender by way of a missed field goal. By the way, they had a block kick that could have been an easy points. By the way, we had a drop touchdown in the end zone by Shyheim Brown in the first drive of the game. So didn't look good, family. But anyway, let's recap this thing. We'll go over the statistics on this matchup. Appreciate you guys for sticking in with me on this broadcast. Man, wow, just a lot of stuff was going wrong on the field and in the studio today. 25-23 with the first downs. LSU was able to do it. 11 of 17 was Florida State on third down versus LSU's 5 of 11. You know, that was pretty decent, but you look at the fourth down efficiency, 0 for 1 and then 2 of 2 by the Tigers. 392 total yards by Florida State versus 348 yards by the Tigers. And you see the completion ratios right there, 20 of 23 for them, averaging 8 points per throw, 25 of 35. 8 yards per throw and 6 yards per throw for LSU, 25 of 35. The rushing statistics, 139 to 132 via the rushing attack, 38 attempts by Florida State versus 30 by LSU. LSU averaged almost 5 yards per rush versus 3.5 by Florida State. The penalties were in favor of LSU, 6 of 65 versus 3 of 30 by LSU. 2 turnovers in the contest against LSU. Despite that, this should have been a win, though, fam. I just can't take it away. Of course, you see Florida State, even though they controlled the clock in the second half, 34 minutes, 6 seconds versus 25 minutes and 54 seconds. Really, LSU had many opportunities to lock this game up. And you got to seize the day, and LSU was in that. They should have beat this team by at least 10 points in the contest today, fam, to be honest with you. You take away that blocked field goal and the touchdown that was dropped by Shyheim Brown, we should have easily had this. And there were several other opportunities I was watching as well where LSU should have wrapped up this contest, opening up the day. Now, looking at the statistics, Jaden Daniels, 25 of 34. He had 209 yards with 2 touchdowns today. A lot of people didn't like Jaden Daniels. He was basically running for his life the first half of this contest. Some of it improved a little bit in the second half, but they have some adjustments, and they know where they need to work on to get better. The LSU offensive line must improve. He was basically all LSU had. He threw for 209 yards and 2 scores. He ran 16 times for 114 yards, family. So Jaden Daniels was responsible for over 300 yards of offense just by himself. Without his contribution, their offensive would have their running backs didn't have much of anything. Their top rushers with Noah Cain behind them was 7 carries for 23 yards. He did have a touchdown there, but it was Jaden Daniels leading the way offensively. You take a look at LSU's receiving core. Jeray Jenkins, 5 catches for 46 yards. He had 2 scores. He came alive. Thomas, 5 catches for 44. yards. And he had Mike Neighbors 5 catches for 42 yards. Taylor 4 for 34. Butte basically 2 for 20 as he was shut down in a double team. And LSU as a receiver corps produced 25 catches for 209 yards and 2 scores. And of course, like I said, man, the special teams really stunk today for LSU, before I finish up the rest of the statistics. The special teams for LSU stunk today. They stunk, absolutely stunk. They had a blocked field goal. They had a muffed punt. And then at the end of the game, the extra point, he couldn't convert it, at least tie it up, give us an opportunity to go in overtime and try to take this game from them. So, I mean, that has to improve, man, big time in the matchup. And, of course, as you go to, like we talked about, Ramos, 1 of 2 with the block in the field goal. Then he was 2 of 3 extra points. That's just not a good look. And, of course, on their side of things, Jordan Travis, 20 of 33 for 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, way too comfortable in the game. Not enough blitzing by Matt House early on to get this stuff together. Their top running backs were Ward and Jordan Travis. They combined 1 for 49, 1 for 31. And they just, at times, were able to just move the ball pretty effectively. But despite the fact LSU was still within arm's reach of taking this game away from them. 7 catches for Wilson for 102 yards and 2 scores. He was their best guy on that side of the ball. So, be that as it may, and a lot of family members probably not going to like what happened here. And of course, they have Southern coming up next week. But on the stage against Florida State and the Superdome, a neutral field, LSU just fundamentally, they just weren't there offensive wise. The special teams, if the special teams had came to play, this would have been a win for LSU. It's just repugnant that you do all of that work and get down there only for your smelly ass kicker to miss a extra point that would have tied the game and sent you into overtime. I mean, you talk about a absolute nose puncher. That was it right there, an absolute nose puncher. But that's the bad side. The good side is that Coach Kelly knows what he has to work on, and he knows that the offensive line was a piece of the weakness, big time part of the weakness in this game. The special teams were awful. So I mean, it was just stank fast city in many ways. So Brian Poland, who's the special teams coordinator for LSU, got to get his head out of his and get that together, man. We can't have that type of performance again. But once again, that'll do it for the broadcast, man, in this matchup. But my goodness, man, LSU, give them credit for fighting back in the game. But my goodness, the special teams should have brung it tonight, man. And like I said, LSU they left 10 points on the field. The drop touchdown pass by Shyheim Brown, the block field goal, which was 3 points. That's 10 points right there, just left on the field of play. So a lot of stuff to work on. Seeing Coach Kelly's first rendition of his LSU Tigers right here. A lot of sloppy football early on, some sloppy in the second half, but they did improve. The defense has some stuff. We know Mason Smith got banged up. We don't know how bad it was. Ojulari got banged up, but he came back into the contest. So we got to shape back and correct the errors that we had in this matchup moving forward. Now we have Southern next, but LSU, man, when they get into the crutch of their SEC schedule, they got to step the hell up, man, and get it right, because this game should have been a win for LSU. That offensive line has to get it together, no doubt. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So with that being said, fam, listen, I'm going to pop out on that. I appreciate you guys for being here with the stream. We're going to try it up again in week number 2, LSU and Southern. We're going to come back and bounce back with that another watch party game right there. 4 hours to the Dome. Sorry about his technical issues, but I had to patch in some sound just to kind of, for those who couldn't follow the game where they were, at least they could listen to it here. And if something pop up again, then I'll probably patch in the sound some more so family members can follow the game, because a lot of them couldn't get it. All right, so with that being said, hit the like button, family. Hit the subscribe button. Join Tough Tiger Talk. We'll be doing these watch parties all damn season long as we looking for LSU to turn it up, moving ahead. So with that being said, I'm going to holler at you guys on the flip side. Peace and go Tigers.